Yo. Hold on, man. I ain't even get set up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Hold on, man. Let me get set up. My bad. I'm late. Hold on, y'all. Maybe a little too bright. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Hold up. All right. Wow. Hey, let's just stick my vacuum back there. Hold on. Let me get my microphone check. Hold on. Let me turn that down. All right. Let me get in this chat room. Carla Sugar, what up? Ricky Skills, what's going on? AK Gorilla, what you say? You got a surprise? Keep it coming, man. Oh yeah. I got this plant. It's Plant Wave technology. That deal with when you put the sensors on the plants. Man, I'm kind of hot too, man. Need to turn the air on. Back to back, yeah, because I told y'all was with me earlier. When I talked about the Marvin Gaye aspect, right? That it was likely gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? And so I know I'm late, but we're gonna kick it off in a few minutes. Everybody, click the thumbs up button for me. I'm not on the YouTube side. I'm on the StreamYard side. But click the thumbs up button for me, so we can get the people up in here and hit that algorithm and whatnot. And then shortly I'll share my screen so we can get started and show you how this thing works, man. I gotta go pull that PowerPoint up too. So hold on, y'all. What is that PowerPoint? That PowerPoint called Marvin. And I think I'm gonna put the keywords first. That's what I think I'm gonna do. And then I'll do the charts last so we can just understand the basis of some stuff. You know what I mean? But everybody click the thumbs up button for me. And I'm gonna grab some water real fast. And we'll get started in a few. All right, hold up. And fat boy ain't eat today. Oh, all right. More Soul Knowledge TV. What up? What up? What up? What up? Raven Ill, what's going on? Monica, what's happening? Proneef, what's good? All right. All right, man. So we'll get this party started because I'm already late. Hey, from Mexico. I need to learn my Spanish. All right. But hola. All right. Man, we glad to have you on the live for sure. For sure. Make sure y'all subscribe. Hit the notification button and whatnot. And so I'll start in 3 minutes. That way it'll put us at 8:45. In fact, let me adjust the air too so Fat Boy can get cool. Hold up. All right. All right. So yeah, we'll get started in 3 minutes. Man, I would say for sure, open up another tab because the stuff I'm gonna show you, but you're gonna see it. This stuff is easily verifiable, you know. Really only thing we gotta go do is study up on the keywords in astrology, or keyword zodiac signs. And once you become familiar with the keywords, those are the laws that this particular planet is associated with and governed. Okay. And so that's the real universal law. What better way, you live in a place, that's governed by seasons and cycles. And, when it's Virgo season, you saying happy, hey, Virgo, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and all that. You know what I mean? So, we gotta really know what this stuff is and what it equates to. There's a tad bit of a science when learning this, as with anything, where when you learn how to do what's called synastry, and you compare one chart to another chart. So in this case, it'd be Marvin Gaye and his father. But it could be two events that has taken place. It could be 9/11, and Pearl Harbor. You can superimpose them events on top of each other in the chart and just look at it. And honestly, when you have that kind of, I want to say, intellectual curiosity, you may just start finding patterns to some things. So like, what happens if there's a pattern to 9/11, to Pearl Harbor, Martin Luther King being assassinated, Abraham Lincoln being assassinated? What if assassinations carry a pattern cosmically? You know what I mean? So, once you start seeing that, and it is something, she may be on to something, for sure. And to me, that's the beauty of it, because now we're going up to the future and we can circumvent, certain situations now. Because, I'm not going to put myself in a certain situation when, you know, certain things are aligned, right? All right, so let me share my screen, and then I'm going to need a confirmation from you guys that you can see my screen. All right, I can see it right here. But put it in the chat for me if you can see my screen. And I'm gonna go big, but I need to know that y'all can see it. So when I'm, oopsie daisy. So when I'm big like this, can you see that? Now, I have no way of knowing unless I come back to y'all, but I want to make sure y'all can see my full screen where I got Saturn up. You can see that in real time, big like that. Okay. And I'm going to come back and check on you. So let me see. I just want to see. Are we good? Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go back to screen share. Uh-oh. Bam. All right. So before I do that, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Let me come back to you. Then I'm going to share. Hold on. All right. Cash and control. Maurice, what's good? Hold on. Let me set the premise. Earlier today, we had a conversation. Mike P was here. And we was talking about the subject matter was, if we really believed in reincarnation and karma, would we do better if we really believed in it? And in the middle of that conversation, you know how that idea just pop up. I like to say that's the spirit in a sense. To really understand karma, all of a sudden Marvin Gaye situation popped up. Whereas you don't know, Marvin Gaye had got in the middle of a dispute between his father and mother, and his father shot him and killed him. Right now, a couple days ago at the house, I said I was going to do Marvin Gaye. I don't know what happened, but I said I was going to do that anyway. And then it just made sense to do it now, because we're talking about karma, we're talking about reincarnation, we're talking about that when you get into the study of this reincarnation, again, I'll cite the work of Dr. Brian Weiss. People found out that the dynamics in roles and relationships had changed over incarnations. And so what is one person's father and son relationship, it could have been competitors and enemies in another lifetime. And, you know, brothers and sisters could have been lovers at one point in time, right? And this place is a very funny place. And you have to understand this. So within that conversation of Marvin Gaye, because imagine being a kid and you were foretold that your dad's gonna kill you. That's crazy, right? It's really crazy. Or even telling, you know, little Marvin's born and Marvin Sr., hey, Marvin Sr., you're gonna kill this baby that was just born. You know, you're gonna kill him when he's a grown man. Right? It seemed like that's unheard of in a sense, right? But you can see these things when you understand this particular craft, because that's one hell of a karmic experience. I don't care what you tell me. Marvin Gaye Sr. shoots and kills his son, Marvin Gaye Jr., who we all know, kills him. Like, that's something that's bigger there. And I'm gonna show you how you can see this stuff. Okay. All right. So that was the premise. And I also said, and y'all was here to bear witness, I said, if I had to give you my hypothesis, which is my educated guess, I said somebody's Saturn, either Marvin Jr. or Marvin Sr., Saturn is in a strenuous position with the other one's Mars, or vice versa. So one of the two is going to deal. We're going to see some Mars action and some Saturn action. I got people here that was here earlier today, heard me say that on the record. Okay. Now, Spirit told me, go ahead and go look. And as soon as I found it and seen it, as what I said, it's my job to come back and show you. Okay. It's not that I'm right. It's more or less of, when you understand these laws, it's always like, oh, okay, Mars governed gunshots. Okay, you got shot. Okay, we know he in the mix somewhere. It got to be, right? And then you start putting it together. Okay. So I said it was going to be some strong Saturn in Mars, what we call a rough aspect or hard aspect. And I'll show you what that means. Okay. All right, let's get back to the share. Let's make it happen. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And bingo. All right. So let's first become educated about the keywords of Saturn. Saturn represents old age. And the reason why I'm gonna point out the old age, because this is a fact that Saturn has a nickname, ladies and gents, and his nickname is Father Time. If we go to the far right over here, you will see that time is there. Okay. So he represents Father Time. He represents the past. Hence, karma has always been associated with what? The past. What goes around comes around. It also represents discipline and hard work. But the reason why I have that there is because discipline and hard work represents a masculine energy. It's not that women's not disciplined and women don't work hard, but speaking in a sense, Saturn represents father time. It's a masculine energy. And again, the past. Now, it's another key word to the far right at the top here, far right to the top, justice, because everything is done by its own karmic law. Okay. So it, to a degree, it represents justice, no matter how we don't like it. You can see poverty, you can see chronic ailments, you can see frustration, you can see a lot of cold energy here, failure and losses. You can see these things here, deficiencies, which is the lack thereof. But all of that plays into the cosmic scheme of things. Okay. So we want to pay attention here to understand that Saturn represents the past, it represents father. And again, the past we're going to say is karma. Okay. Now, let's move to Mars. My favorite guy to point out here: cuts, burns, and scalds. On the left, if you go up a little bit on the left, you're going to see iron and steel. Those are keywords for pistols. You're going to see bloodshed. You're going to see armed service. Hello, that's guns. You're going to see temper. You're going to see violence. You're going to see war. This energy here represents all of that. Okay. Now, let's move to the sun. The sun represents the father as well. Very interesting, because there are two principles that you just saw: Saturn, father time, and the sun, which is father. But the sun also represents children. That's going to become very important. Okay. So we have two father energies, Saturn and the sun. Very, very, very interesting, because Saturn is a key word. Saturn is really Satan. The sun, we say, is what? The son of God. And it's this clash of two forces, because the sun is hot, Saturn is cold. So therefore, they diametrically oppose each other in nature. The sun is more, what we call jubilant. Saturn is more repressive. The sun is more joyful. Saturn is more cold and, lethargic in a sense. Two totally opposing forces: Satan and the Son of God, Saturn and the Sun. These are cosmic principles. Okay. All right, get ready, because here goes the school. Now, when Marvin Gaye was born, April 2nd, his planets are in the red. Okay. Dad's planets, since he was born first, is in the blue. Now, I have three things I'm going to point to. Point number one is, you see in red at the top, point number one, Marvin was born with Mars in Capricorn. Notice it squares Mars in Libra. So you can see the same glyph, the circle with the arrow at number one. So in red, that's Marvin Jr. In blue, that's Marvin Sr. This is called Mars square Mars, because Capricorn and Libra don't get along. Okay. Its energy is not conducive. So when you have Mars square Mars, that represents friction and a fight and all of the nasty things that Mars represent. because that square, meaning 3 signs away, or a short red line that you see in the chart, that's aspects. An aspect simply means what is one planet communicating to another planet. And the line tells us the nature. So red represents more of the friction, and blue represents more of the ease and opportunity. See, this is why I say it's not rocket science, because now we just color coded it. Red's bad, blue is good. Okay. So now this is Mars square Mars, very dangerous, because again, Mars square Mars, this is connected by the square known as the red line, and this is going to be a negative connection. Hello, that is a major jewel right there, because we're connected to each other by these blue and red lines. The more red you have, or depending on the nature of the red, the likelihood of the negative event coming out is very likely. You need to know what that is between you and your mama, you and your children, you and your lover, and whoever. Let's move to point number 2. Mars is opposite Saturn in blue and Pluto. That's dangerous. It's very dangerous. That is very dangerous. Okay. So now we got Mars opposite Saturn. So Mars is the young warrior and Saturn is the daddy. Okay. Then we have at point number 3, look at Marvin's Saturn in red at the base of the arrow pointing to the blue sun. Whoa, didn't I just show you that Saturn and the sun represents, both of them represent father energy? Yes. Not only that, Aries and Libra are in opposition to each other. Aries and Libra is a complement energetically. Libra's an air sign, Aries a fire sign. So energetically they go, but they're in opposition, and oftentimes an opposition can represent conflict. So sun opposite sun becomes a battle of the egos. It really becomes the battle of who is the man around here, because the sun represents masculine energy. Let's go up to Mars, point 1 again. Both of those are highly masculine energies. So now, just looking at that, I'm gonna give y'all a key. Y'all want to know what the whole tetragrammaton is? Really, the tetragrammaton, they say, is the 4-name letter of God. Yod, He, Vav, He, known as Jehovah or Yahweh. You spell his name. That is the Father, the Son, and I don't say in the Holy Ghost. My prayers is the Father, the Son, the Mother, and Daughter. The Holy Spirit is all. That's the new prayer. The Father, the Son. There go your 2 masculine. The Mother and Daughter, those are the horizontal. Remember, vertical is masculine, horizontal is feminine. The Father, the Son, the Mother and Daughter, the Holy Spirit is all. So now the 2 cosmic principles of the Son and the Father is the Sun. Sometimes it's depicted as Saturn as well. And Mars is, I'm sorry, the Sun and Saturn is the father figures. Mars is the son. Moon is mommy and Venus is the daughter. Okay. So now you have Mars square Mars, negative masculine energy. Sun opposite sun, negative masculine energy. Now, when you got Sun, father figure, Saturn, father figure, in red over here, we're going back to point number 3. And then this is in opposition to Marvin Sr.'s son. Then what is this really saying? This is saying, let me see you. This is saying that you got the aspects, right? This is saying, let me see where I'm at here. This is saying Marvin's father energy is opposition to his own father. So his own father can perceive him as, are you trying to be the man around here? See, Marvin Sr. is fighting the mom inside of Marvin Jr.'s house. So his son is the one that's famous and getting the paper. Y'all come live with me. Who the man around here? Irregardless to you being my parent, but who the man around here? But see, when these energies, Mars square Mars, Sun opposite Sun, right? Saturn opposite Sun. Oh, you trying to put my light out. Oh, you think, oh, you better stay in the child's place. I don't care if you grown and this is your house. I got a dispute going on. Oh, yo, you want to fight me? Okay, I'll be back. I bring you in this world, I take you out this world. Because Saturn represents what? Karma. So Marvin Jr.'s karma planet is in opposition to his daddy's sun planet. Right? So you see how that play? And let me tell you something. This stuff is to the degree. To the degree. If we go back and look, watch this. This shit is dangerous, man. I mean to the degree. Like this, like mathematically speaking. What was it? I'm gonna show you this. All right. It was 7. There we go. I'm gonna point your attention to something. Mars in red is at 7 Capricorn, and Dad is a 7 Libra. Okay. So if we come back here to the chart, this is what I'm saying. 7 Capricorn is here. Okay. This right here, I'm gonna point right there. 7 Capricorn is here. But Dad is a 7-degree Libra. This is actually pointing here. I'm sorry. Should have been right here. Dad is a 7-degree Libra. So it's hitting this. Okay. So that's Mars square Sun to the degree. Now hold on. Hold on. Let me show you something. I promise you this. I promise you this. When Mars is in Capricorn, they say Mars is exalted there. Google it. Mars exalted in Capricorn. That means Mars, when it's in Capricorn, its energy is strong because it's considered to be a second home. It rules Aries naturally, but then it has another sign that it does really well in. It's sort of like its vacation house, and that's Capricorn. But Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which means Capricorn has the energy of father. Right? So now you got Mars square Sun to the degree. I mean, a perfect 90-degree angle. You know what a 90-degree angle is, ladies and gentlemen? It's called a T-bone. When you go through an intersection and the traffic going across, if y'all run into each other, that's called a T-bone. That's a 90-degree angle. One's on the vertical and one's on the horizontal. So when those energy, you coming at me sideways, that's what that really is, because literally stick your arms out. Like that's 90 degrees. So I'm looking at y'all straight ahead, but if I turn completely to the left or right, that's a 90-degree angle. That's my blind side. I can't necessarily see. You see what I'm saying? So when people are connected by the square, and you're connected by the square, that's dangerous because that's negative energy that's connecting you to. When are we going to step into the understanding and know that the human being is made up of light, heartbeat, brainwave, and light has 2 poles, positive and negative, right? And now the aspects based off planetary energies, we are drawn to each other, electromagnetism. So we are really attracted to each other by the negative vibes. I ain't talking about you attracted to the person's drama. Oh, that's later. You can become addicted to that too. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the cosmic pull between y'all two. When these energies square each other, oppose each other, and they line up certain way, that is magnetic pull. You have to be able to differentiate and learn how to either read this stuff or sense and feel, most importantly, learn how to develop intuitive knowledge to understand what this connection is all about. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to show you the death day. All right, hold on. This stuff ain't. I'm going to say it again. It ain't rocket science. But you know when I say that, I'm saying it because if I can figure it out, surely you can figure it out. Okay? All right, now watch this. Now, this is called a progress chart for Marvin Gaye. Okay, because we know Marvin Gaye was a Aries. He's born April 2nd. But on his death day, the sun has progressed up to Taurus, which is at the bottom of the arrow. But where is Mars in the sky on his death day? Scorpio. Wow, late Scorpio too. So late Scorpio, it's like 28 degrees Scorpio up here. So 28 degrees Scorpio is in damn near direct opposition to 26 Taurus. Hello? Hello? And then Saturn in the sky, which represents father time, is in Scorpio. And what's happening with that? He is also in opposition to hold on, I got a call coming in, y'all. That's also in opposition to the sun. So now, at the time of Marvin's death, the planet that represents gunshots, remember, it's already in an agitating spot from his father. When it's in the sky in opposition to your progression, and Saturn, which represents father time, was also in opposition to your father at the time of your birth. When these two energies get opposite you, because you is the sun represents personality, it's who you are, hence your sun sign. When you say I'm a Leo, I'm a this, I'm a that, that's where the sun was at. So the sun represents you. So now when the planet of gunshots and father and karma is in opposition to you, it's lights out, buddy. So he's under what I would call a cold red. Now watch this. You see that it say 26 degrees Taurus, right? You see it. I ain't making it up. Now watch what I'm gonna show you, because I know what I know. Now watch this. Watch this. Fixed stars astrology. All right. I think we're gonna go to the second page because they used to be on the front page, but they need to step it up some. But they on the second page now. Hey, let me go to the next page. Bam. I'm gonna show you what's at 26 Taurus. It ain't nothing pretty either. It ain't pretty. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Algo, right? What do it say? Very unfortunate. Huh? What do it say? Primitive female sexuality, strangulation, beheading, danger to the throat and neck. Hello, murder. It's murder in my Ja Rule voice, right? Catastrophe, the evil one, the demon star. Man, yeah, I ain't making this up. This star represents murder. This is 26 degrees Taurus, algo, right? You know why? Let me show you something. Let me take y'all out there today. Y'all ready to go out there? Y'all see them Fruity Loops on there, man. I don't even know how to work that thing. It is not my thing. But we're gonna go out there today. Y'all gonna learn today. Where you at, Algo? Show them where you at, Algo. Come on up. Bring your little ugly head on out of here. I'm gonna make it dark, son. Hey, where's my hold on. No. There we go. Bing, bing. I can get rid of the constellation lines. Bing. There she go. Algo. Known as the demon star, right there. Right? Right there. That's Algo. So we see that Algo was said to be at 26 degrees Taurus. Yes. 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 So I can tell you that by what's the 26th degree of Taurus. Now watch this. I'll show you how to get jiggy with it. So y'all saw that, right? We can go to an ephemeris, which is pretty much just a planetary calculator. The year don't matter. So 26 Taurus is around May the 18th. See, here go the sun, right here at the top. The sun is here. It starts on May the 1st. It's at 10 degrees Taurus. That's what that says. So we want to go down towards, say, 26 Taurus. That's around May 18th. Okay. So theoretically speaking, we should be able to go to May 18th, and the sun should be in some type of alignment with Algol. Right. And let me back it up, son. And let me make it dark. Bing. And here go Algo here. And if you really want to get into this thing, look at the right ascension angle where it say Ra, R-A right here. I know this may be a lot of astronomical stuff, but this is how you really get into this thing, right? Right angle ascension 308, right? The sun has a right angle ascension of 340. So they both in the third hour, okay? And so when that happens, the sun gets in direct alignment with Algol and start to go through this cluster right here known as the Pleiades, which is a very volatile, nasty type of energy as well. Okay. So when this happens, okay, this is where Marvin Gaye's progression was. His progression energy was at the star that represent murder. And he got murdered when the planets align. You understand that? All right. Let me come to you. Can I get a oh man, where I'm at? I'm here. All right. So if y'all understand that, put some sevens in the chat if you understand that. Y'all, y'all understand that? Put some sevens in the chat if you understand. I know it's a little bit of a delay. Where y'all at? Put it in the chat for me. Put sevens in the chat. Ooh, Kesset versus Gabora. That's Jupiter and Mars. Yeah. Bina in Gabora. I think the path that connect that is the chariot too. But put some sevens in the chat. Y'all understand that, man. All right, I see it. Carl, Prony, the blessed one. What's happening? Blessed one. All right. So if you know that, I mean, listen, man, that's really it in a nutshell. You know what I mean? I can go get, man, I'm gonna go get a book that y'all should have. I keep telling y'all this. Hold on. This book here, in my opinion, this is the only astrology book you ever need. But it's not, because it don't teach you how to say what an aspect is. So when y'all saw the long red line, opposition, it don't teach you how to go into a chart and do that. It already imposes that you know what that means. But once you get that basic understanding of what that is, man, listen, this ain't hard, man. The short red line is a square. The long red line is opposition. The short blue line is a sextile. The long blue line is a trine. And then if energies are together right next to each other, then that's called a conjunction. That's it. Ooh, that's real hard, right? Like, that's it. Now that you got that, it's this. Now, let's look at Mars square Mars. But in Pooh, I thought you said Mars was opposite his progressed sun. It was, but he was born with Mars square his daddy Mars. So it's still Mars square Mars. You can read that. See, remember, this is called planets and transits, what the planets were in space. But listen, the planets were in space right here when I was born, when Marvin was born, and then when the other Marvin was born, the planets was right here. So it's still planets and transits. So you can use this to read any type of chart. Okay. So Mars square Mars. Oh, I bet you it's gonna be nasty. Y'all gonna have to go make me put on my Cartiers. Hold on. Ego energies. That's how it open up. Ego energies and physical energies run very high during this transit. You will feel positively loaded with energy for which you must find an adequate outlet or you will have problems. The best way to handle this transit is to do some necessary heavy physical work, but that will work out only if you derive satisfaction from doing it. Otherwise, you will feel resentful, which brings out the negative side of this transit. Sports, if you are all at all athletic, is an excellent outlet. If you just sit around, you will begin to feel itchy and restless for no apparent reason and then become quite irritable. In this mood, you will snap at anyone who comes along for no reason at all, or you may be spoiling for a fight, even if there is no justification for one. Okay? So don't tell me. All right? I'm telling you, it represents fights. All right? Let me. Now, remember when he was born, I'm sorry, on his death day, it was Mars opposite progressed sun. So that's still Mars opposite sun. You know what that says? On the negative side, this can be a time of furious conflicts with others. Right? Seriously. Like, and it actually starts off with this transit can have two completely different effects depending on how you have handled your affairs in the recent past. This is why your actions, Mars represent action. This is why your actions are very important because how you handle some shit, you don't know that you got in an argument when Mars was in a certain position. And then when it's back in another strenuous position again, you get in the same argument or another argument that you don't know is related, but you don't know on September the 6th, you keep getting in arguments. You don't know this because there's cycles at work now. You see? All right. And so let's go read Saturn opposite Sun. That don't feel good. I know that don't feel good. And I'm gonna tell you what this is because it's simple. If it's the father energy conflicting with one another, then what does that tell us? Somewhere in their soul line, the roles was reversed and Marvin Jr. was the father. It's a double father energy that's fighting each other. It ain't nothing but a whole masculine thing that's fighting each other. And so trust me, somewhere in the soul line, Marvin Jr. was the father. And this ain't nothing more than because it's all justice. We saw what that keyword was for Saturn justice. This ain't nothing more than pretty much karmic retribution that's playing out. How we know that Marvin Jr. wasn't, oppressive and did the same thing to his father. And see, and who's to say who did what first? And this is why you really just gotta stop. Call time out. Trust me, you start figuring this shit out, you be like, I don't want to do nothing. Not in a bad way, but you just gotta, protect your energy. I mean, you ain't doing that. All right. So let's see. A lot of this says don't start nothing new at this particular time. The energy of Saturn holds back the energy of the sun, which is your basic life energy. Because sun represents vitality. Told you Saturn's energy is cold. Okay. Saturn confines and restricts it so that you can only do certain things. As a result, you may feel cut off from others and lonely. But do not be too concerned about this. Even if this transit coincides with the breaking up of a relationship, which it may, it means that the relationship itself is distracting you from matters that you must attend to now. This is a time for concentrating energy and not scattering energy. Okay. And so it's this energy of restriction and cutting off and things ending when Saturn and the sun come together. Because again, the sun just wants to shine its rays of light, but Saturn's energy naturally is an energy that just, cools things off. And then, Jupiter is an energy that expands things. You see what I'm saying? So when Jupiter and the sun are together, then that's like it's an over amount, amplification of that particular energy, because Jupiter's energy is an amplifier, while Saturn's energy is a restrainer. Mars energy is an amplifier as well, an agitator or spark. You see what I'm saying? So these principles, you got to know what they are. And Saturn is not bad. I'm gonna tell you something about Saturn. Saturn is the great neutralizer to anything. If you want to neutralize something that's hot, then you bring in Saturn to slow it down. If you over too expansive and you too jovial, or you spending too much, or you eating too much, which is Jupiter energy, then Saturn represents restriction. So that's the perfect balance to that. Okay, Mars represent let's run, let's go get it in. You burn yourself out. You need to slow down, Mars. Slow down. What you running all the time for? You don't have no staying power. It's quick, 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 bam, it's over. With Saturn, slow down, longevity. See, so Saturn balances that energy out. Okay. Neptune is an energy that deals with the imagination and the spiritual aspect. It's more in the mind. But you too much in the mind, or alcohol, drugs is Neptune too. You need to stop doing that and get more concentrated in the physical and not in your head all the time, or stop doing drugs. What's that? Saturn, restriction, no, physicality. Saturn plays in the physical world, Neptune plays in the spiritual world. Look at Uranus. The planet Uranus represents sudden change and rebellion and radical, right? Oh, okay. Is you too radical? Okay, we need to put some structure around that. Who is that? That's Saturn once again. So Saturn is really the great neutralizer here. It's the perfect balancing one that's there. So it's not a bad thing per se. Okay. So it's the one that you really bring in to balance yourself. Okay. So I do want to take a quick look at something too, because I didn't look. I want to look at their nodes. Let me go to their chart here. Let me see. Dad got node at 8 Scorpio. No. This is progressing. I don't want to see that. Dad has node at 5 Pisces. Okay. 5 Pisces. And Marvin Jr. has it at 8 Scorpio. At 8 Scorpio. 8 Scorpio just popped up somewhere. I thought, all right, because they don't go nowhere. Okay. At 8 Scorpio. All right, so I will have to go back and do a chart to look at some stuff. Let's see. But I just wanted to share that with y'all real fast, man. You know what I mean? Learn. Learn, man. Again, I think a great way to start is, it's just, Google around, man. YouTube University, once you get the aspects down real quick, again, I said them earlier. Short red is a square. Long red is a opposition, because they're directly across from each other. Short blue represents opportunity, and long blue represents easiness. So short red is called a square. Long red is called opposition. Short blue is called sextile. Long blue means trine. And if the energies are next to each other, they're called conjunction. Okay. And so now we can just go like y'all saw in the chart with Marvin. He was born with Saturn conjunct Sun, or Sun conjunct Saturn. The energies were conjoined right next to each other. Once you get that thing down, you come over here to planets and transits. Okay. And then you start learning about yourself. And then I have something called the self-activation workbook. But you can hit me up, and I got a few copies of it. um I can ship it to you, or I can email it. I would prefer really email it and you print it and do your own thing. You can just send over a Cash App donation, and then I email it to you and you print it out and you do your thing and start learning about your own birth chart. That's what the workbook is for. It's for you to learn your own birth chart and answer questions about you. Nobody telling you about you, you learning about your cosmic self. Okay. Very important. See, for me, I just know off rip, off top. Just certain things you got to know. I know if you Aries, like we good, especially an Aries woman, super good. I love Aries women. Why? Because I got Venus in Aries. And so, depending on what degree Aries she is, that activates that. I can feel that. Right. And one thing about Aries, too, is they may have Venus in Aquarius, which I'm an Aquarian. Because if you know the laws of Venus, Venus is not more than 2 signs away. So 2 signs behind Aries is Aquarius. You see what I'm saying? But it could have been 2 signs up, which is Gemini, which is fine because Aquarius to Gemini gets along. Aquarius to Aries gets along. You see what I'm saying? And so you start knowing these things. So it may be Leo. Okay, Leo is my polar opposite. I got Saturn in Leo. That's cool, but it's going to be a little bit of tension there. But that Saturn energy is really there to help put some structure to some stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so once you know where a person sit at in your life, you know what becomes activated in you. You know what I mean? Person sit in your seventh house, that's the house of relationships. If they sit in your fourth house, this is really more family. There's a big soul tie that's there. You know what I'm saying? They sit in your fifth house, could be romance, or this is more like a child in the sense of yours, and then, or vice versa, you or them and whatnot. They sit in your 10th house, this is a person who should be pushing you for your career and getting you going. You know what I'm saying? And so they sit in your 12th house. If they ain't on nothing spiritual, they're your secret enemy. I don't care what you tell me. Person sitting in your 12th house and they ain't on nothing spiritual, try to get on some spiritual stuff that seem different and see if they're going to be on board with you. And if not, then this person, to a degree, I mean, you got to watch that one. That's a real doozy in a sense. That's a soft spot. The 12th house is the house of secret enemies. So you sit in my 12, we ain't got the same spiritual values in the sense, then something can be up with that. You know what I mean? So watch that particular marker, and so forth and so far. It's a person sitting in your eighth house. This is a person who you can have sex and secrets with. This is a perfect affair. I hate to say it, but it happens in this reality. But also really represents the consolidation of you joining resources together. Y'all can do investments together, make some type of money together, or share bank accounts with one another. A person sits in your ninth house and your third house. Your third house, this is a brother or sister. So it's kind of like Jew got Aquarius on the third, right? And so he don't have a biological brother. I don't have a biological brother, but the third house is siblings. And Aquarius sits there for him. So that's like my brother from another mother in a sense, right? So the third and ninth house is more of a communication thing, a brotherly thing, an in-law type of thing in the ninth house, teaching, talking, learning, traveling, all that kind of stuff right there. You know, the 11th house, this should be a good friend, hopefully, because the 11th house represents friends and social, socializing. The sixth house is health and a person, probably a good person to work with on a day-to-day basis, depending on red lines and blue lines going on. But just a general placement where people sit at in your chart, you know what I'm saying? This is how you know what role they could play for you in a sense. And then there's other little things to really fine tune it to get the chemistry of the overall picture. You know what I mean? And that's just too much to get into right now. You know what I mean? That's a secret formula anyway. You know what I mean? That's proprietary. How they say it? Proprietary information. Um, that's IP. You know what I mean? Intellectual property. Because for real, there's just a beautiful way that you can quantify this and turn into energy patterns. So you can see the up and down of the energy and see what the overall story is. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what that is. Hey, do you think Marvin Gaye beat all those prostitutes up? I think that I never heard that. But if we go look, that's a good question, right? So let me do this. Oh man, I gotta go to my Astro account. Hold on, y'all. Let me go to my Astro account and we'll take a look at a chart and see. We shall see. We shall give you what you need as we proceed to give you what you need. Hold on, man. It's my real estate partner. Call me April 2nd, 1939. It's his birthday. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Uh, 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 uh. Let me come back to share my screen. All right. So April 2nd, 1939, the question was asked, did he beat prostitutes in a sense? Right? And so look at this though. Like, let's just say we don't know his moon degree, because you got to have the precise time. But what if the moon was right here? Right? So you got moon square Mars. That's a problem. Right? That's a problem for sure. So it's probably a good chance that he do. Got that. So Mars represents violence. The moon represents female energy. When you have moon conjunct Neptune like that, that could also represent doing drugs with women, right? But he was born with Mars square Sun. So he was already born with an internal conflict of masculine energy in his life. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can look at this and be like, hold on, bro. You got Saturn at 19 degrees Aries, and you was born with the sun at 12 degrees Aries. Like, okay, that's some daddy stuff going on right there. And both of these square Mars. Okay, bro, you may have some daddy issues, but in truth, we looking at you, which means your own internal masculine energy is off. Something's off. And this is where the real alchemy comes in at, because we're not looking at his daddy. We're looking at him. Just by looking at him, we can tell the masculine energy is off, right? Now, let's just say, what he did, I think, in a sense, of course, he was supposed to intervene if he felt like his father was too aggressive with his mother or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But you can just see that, all right, it could be a potential conflict right there for sure, right? Even with the Pluto square, the Pluto up here, the P squaring that sun energy. Oh, nah, bro, that's a problem. That's just a potential problem. It is what it is. So that's a highly possibility when I don't like that. I don't like when the masculine energy is off with the female energy, because this is a marker for domestic violence. Mars square moon represents emotions. Mars represents violence. So what happens when you get emotional? You become violent. Duh. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying, like, it's just not hard. Right. So that's what that can happen. Okay. That can happen for sure. Right. If someone has sex addiction, where would it show up in a chart? It could be the eighth house. It could be how Mars and Pluto is configured. It could be a combination of things. If it ain't directly in the eighth house, then I will look and see what planet rules the eighth house. See what that planet is doing, and then I'll pay attention to Mars and Pluto. And here's the thing, man. Here's the thing too, right? In the Western Hemisphere, like I had to tell Jew, like, man, the Western, the Eastern systems don't necessarily fit the Western modality of who we are in the culture, especially the nigga. I just got to keep it real with you. Like, niggas ain't turning into monks. Niggas can barely stop eating pork. let alone go all live off in the mountains and be monks and don't have sex no more. Like, it's not happening. It don't fit. It don't fit. Just don't fit. And so the sexual addiction may not necessarily be a bad thing. And I say necessarily because it depends how you exercise it. But there's an outlet for that sexually. It's called Tantra. It's called Taoism. It's called embracing the energy that you love sex, right? And being able to put yourself in the environment where that could be highly expressed. I was watching something, maybe it was on Netflix, that was dealing with, what was that? Um, they got a little personality quiz to see if you it was dealing with couples, and couples getting a sex life together basically. And then it was this quiz that you take to see what kind of style are you. And one is energetic, where it's about ecstasy, and it's about sex as a union, and it ain't about what I call bang bang. What I mean? It's just a physical getting off. It ain't about that. And on that, I just kept watching the black couple. And the black couple, the dude actually was like, talking about his wife. Like, yeah, she got a small clit. And I be wanting to do it. And she be like, yeah, I'm just like washing dishes. And he like, and I felt him on this. He like, man, you washing dishes is turning me on. Shit, like you look good to me. Right. And she like, but yeah, I want to be touched and I want to be caressed. And that's to a degree, that's like a love language and whatnot. And you want to get straight down to it. And she needs to be, touched and take a feather and tickle her senses in a sense. And there was a energetic profile, there was a kink profile, there was a more of a physical getting off profile, and I forget the other one and whatnot. And so it was very interesting because when they found out that she was energetic, he later found out that he was energetic, and he's on the massage table, and you like take a feather or whatever it may have been, and you just like she was rubbing his hairs on his body, and that was giving him this sensation. And he started crying on the table, which I just thought was beautiful, because I'm at this point in my life where I love vulnerability, because it's at that point you just surrendered, right? And so he's crying on a massage table just from his wife just touching him. And what's happening is he received a body orgasm. Orgasm is just not a genital thing. We got to learn how, I would say, and I ain't gonna say we got to learn. Let me be clear, because that is a connection. That's fine. But there's another connection, and the mystical energetic connection could be just, could be you had chills over your body and you felt this energy right here in your chest. Well, that's where the energy swelled up, and you just had a chest orgasm. You just had a heart orgasm. You just had a throat orgasm. You see what I'm saying? And not just a genital orgasm and whatnot. So once you start learning the different dimensions of sex and being able to take ownership of that in that healthy way, then you allow this addiction to have a proper outlet and whatnot. So, like, man, how many women can't squirt because they just won't relax themselves enough to do it? Like, it ain't necessarily the person they with. Like, are you even relaxed enough to allow yourself to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, are men, are we even studious enough to try to figure that out? So, is it really an addiction? It's not to say that you don't have one. I just want to say what I've been saying is learn what a pointed at, bro. Learn the tantric arts. Go that way. Go into Taoism. You know what I'm saying? Go that way. Those are the only two sciences that I've seen that fully embrace energy. You know what I mean? And then learn how to possibly not physically ejaculate and to, stop, and, just stop and be okay with allowing the energy to see what it feels like in your body. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. Yeah, I would definitely agree. If it's hurting somebody, it's a problem, you know. And if you're hurting yourself, because you can be depleting yourself of energy. If you're a male, you're losing a lot of zinc, you know. All right, K Brooks chap, how would moon square Venus in the man chart be interpreted? The female energy is off. Perhaps maybe I would first want to look at mommy and see if there's any issue there. Your emotional expression inside of your relationship could be a bit of a challenge, but it's something with the feminine principle that just need to be balanced. So make sure when you're in a relationship with the feminine energy, in that sense, you can express make sure your emotional IQ and expression is allowed, and you got a safe space to do that, and you're growing emotionally in a healthy way. The relationship Venus could be at odds and challenged by your emotional expression, or you can attract a woman in your life who has a challenge expressing their emotions. So you're in a relationship, but they got the challenge. You see what I'm saying? And so it's all about the core of those two is definitely going to be emotional intelligence is the key to strengthen that. Is how I see that particular challenge for sure. All right. Sexual healing, no pun. Yeah. Yep. There's a story that Marvin Gaye may have been a serial killer. Oh man, I ain't hear that. But you never know, man. You never know. You never know. All right. Yeah. So yeah, any other questions, man? We can kind of shoot it to 10 o'clock if you wanna, or just fire up the questions for me. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Any question? On another note, FYI, Mercury retrograde at 8 Libra on the 9th. First time retrograde at 8 degrees Libra since 1929. Oh shit, that's the stock market. October 29, ain't it? Or was it 28? That's 29. That's interesting. Good info, man. In the beginning, but also if it were not the one handling it, why is it in our name, and why did you wait until it added up to say something? When we pull up our account, it doesn't show anything due until later this month. Well, I gotta school this girl. It's starting to get on my nerve. All right. Oh, you missed it, man. You just gonna have to hit the rewind button. Ain't nothing major. Yeah, Mercury retrograde coming up. But that's I'm waiting to see if Kim and Kanye gonna get back together during this period of time, or possibly that'll be interesting. Michael B. Jordan and what's the girl name? Harvey daughter. Yeah, Lori. Damn shame I had to think of Meek Mill verse to figure her name out. I got Lori Harvey on my wish list. All right. That'll be interesting to see. So, but Mercury retrograde, old things and relationships potentially. So if y'all see something in the news, man, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Man, Oshun Love, I need to. I really need to, but man, I made the bomb. Man, I gotta show y'all this. It's on my phone. Yo, I'm about to make it right now. Listen, I'm addicted right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Where is it at? I thought I had a picture of it. Here's a big one. Oh man, this thing is the bomb. Can y'all see that? Ooh, man, that is a I can't give y'all the recipe, but that is a vegan taco egg roll. Right? Got the cheese, got the plant-based meat, got the green onion, and then after it's serve, slice him open, and then I stuff cilantro in it. Man, I'm literally about to make that as soon as I get off of here because I just gotta roll it up and drop it. Right, man. I tell about I ate that thing for 4 days straight before I went on to something else. It's that good and whatnot. And so, but I need to because this full moon is coming up. And we got some healing work to do and whatnot. And so, I need to, but I don't want to, but I need to. But I ain't gonna lie, I need to. Yeah, this is it in the raw stage. This is, you know, that's in the raw stage. And then that bad boy gets wrapped up. That's another one when it was finished. Oh man, that boy was hitting. What? This bad. And this is where it's like when it's done. And that had a little corn flour on it, or cornmeal. So now I don't even do them with the cornmeal. Um, but I don't know if y'all got this, but here I'll show y'all that. That's the actual wrap itself, the actual vegan roll. That's right there. So no animal product. Man, I just been crushing them things, man. For real. That's my joint right there. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I did a I did a plate. I did a plate. So them were raw. Them were before I drop them. And whatnot. So that's what I'm about to do right now, man. Plant medicines like ayahuasca and all that. No, I haven't. Not that I wouldn't, but man, I probably ain't no telling what I see going through something like that. I see. I'm glad I got Saturn opposite Mercury. So if I didn't have that placement, I'm already throwed off. I'll be throwed off. I'll be really off if I didn't have Saturn. Saturn opposing my Mercury keeps you in check with reality. You know what I'm saying? And so, thank God for that placement because I got Uranus square Mercury, which means I can think outside of the box and be different anyway. Could be a little off, you know what I mean, from mainstream. Um, so that planet Saturn stabilizes my intellect. Um, but I never tried that. I never tried ayahuasca. I wanted to do maybe some shrooms to kind of get started in that a little bit to see. But I'm a little scared of ayahuasca, man. All that's what's happening is everything that's buried in the subconscious mind is you now got access to it and it's all coming up. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? You can now see it. So whatever blocks you from seeing it, that gateway gets open, and then all the shit that's buried in the pit of your hell of your mind, you now got access to it and it's all coming up. And that could be a good therapeutic thing because in past life regression, when you get access to it that way, instant healing takes place. No meditation, no visualization, no herbs, no medicine, none of that. Instant healing takes place when you can get through the subconscious mind that way. I don't know about the ayahuasca aspect and stuff like that. Um, and I'm kind of more cautious too because I don't want to have experiences that can only happen when chemically induced because I don't want to have to become dependent upon that state to get there. So the arduous path of getting into the subconscious is meditation. I know we don't want to do it, but the shortcut way is drugs. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not knocking it. It's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's what that is. All right. All right, man. So I got to address some issues real fast on some real estate stuff, man. So I hope y'all enjoy, man. If you're new to the channel, take your time, go through it, subscribe, hit the notification button so when we go live, you can see some stuff. But share with a friend, man. I appreciate y'all. Leave a comment. You got a question or anything, let me know. Check out the podcast. I'll probably drop something tomorrow over there. It's called Cosmic Conversations on any of your podcast platform. You just go Cosmic Conversations with Noble and Pooh, and you will see it. All right, man. So I get with y'all. Peace.